Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's podcast. My name is Jason, and I am so happy to have you here. In this episode, we are going to talk about a very important topic for English learners: how to think faster and speak clearer in English. Now, why is this important? Many English learners say, "Jason, I know some English words, but when I try to speak, my mind goes blank. I think too slowly. I cannot find the right words." Other learners say, "I can speak fast, but people do not understand me. My words are not clear." Both of these problems are very common. And the good news is, you can fix them. With the right practice, you can train your brain to think faster in English, and you can also train your mouth and voice to speak clearer. In this podcast, I will share with you step-by-step ideas, easy tips, and daily exercises. By the end of this episode, you will know exactly how to improve both your thinking speed and your speaking clarity. So, relax, listen carefully, and get ready to learn. Let's begin our journey on how to think faster and speak clearer in English. All right, let's start with the first big question. Why does thinking fast matter when you speak English? Think about this. Imagine you are in a conversation with a friend, a teacher, or maybe even a native English speaker. They ask you a simple question like, "What did you do yesterday?" Now, if your brain takes too long to find the words, you will pause, you will hesitate, and you may even feel nervous. This happens to many learners. The mind becomes slow because you are still searching for the right word, or you are translating from your native language to English. And what happens? The conversation feels heavy, and you lose confidence. But when you can think faster, everything changes. You don't need to pause too much. The words come more quickly. You can answer in a natural way. This makes the conversation flow smoothly, just like water in a river. Here's another reason. Thinking fast makes you more confident. When your brain is ready with the words, you feel relaxed. You don't worry about mistakes as much because you are focused on communication, not translation. And finally, thinking faster helps you connect better with people. Imagine someone is telling you a story. If you understand quickly and can respond quickly, they feel happy. The conversation feels real, alive, and friendly. So, thinking fast is not about being perfect. It is about keeping the conversation moving. It is about showing confidence and being present in the moment. In simple words, the faster you think, the easier you speak. And the easier you speak, the more confident you become. Now that we understand why thinking fast matters, let's talk about the second big part. Why is speaking clearly so important? Many learners believe that if they speak fast, they will sound more fluent. But here's the truth. Speed is not the same as fluency. If you speak very fast but no one understands you, then communication is broken. Clear speaking is more powerful than fast speaking. Why? Because the main goal of language is communication. You want people to understand you easily. Even if your grammar is not perfect, if your words are clear, people can follow your meaning. Think about this example. Imagine two learners. One speaks very quickly, but swallows words, mixes sounds, and is hard to follow. The second learner speaks a little slower, but every word is clear, simple, and easy to understand. Which one do you prefer to listen to? Of course, the second one. Speaking clearly also shows confidence. When you open your mouth and pronounce words properly, people feel that you believe in yourself. They will respect your English, even if you make some mistakes. Another reason is connection. When people understand you easily, they feel closer to you. There is no stress in the conversation. There are no misunderstandings, and this makes your English more effective in real life, whether at school, at work, or with friends. So, always remember this simple rule. Clear is better than fast. It is better to speak slowly and clearly than to rush and confuse people. With practice, you can find the balance between clear speaking and natural speed. Now that we know why thinking fast and speaking clearly are important, let's talk about the common problems that English learners face. The first big problem is overthinking grammar. Many learners stop speaking because they want to make a perfect sentence in their head before they open their mouth. They think, is this grammar correct? Should I use past tense or present perfect? By the time they decide, the moment has already passed. The second problem is translating from your native language to English. This is very common. For example, you think of a sentence in your own language first, and then you try to change it into English. But this takes time. That's why you pause, and the conversation becomes slow. The third problem is speaking too fast without clarity. Some learners want to sound fluent, so they rush their words. But when they do this, their pronunciation becomes weak, and people cannot understand them. Fluency is not about speed. It's about smooth and clear speaking. Another big problem is lack of vocabulary. Sometimes you know what you want to say in your own language, but you don't know the English word. You pause, you hesitate, and you lose confidence. This is normal, but it can be improved. And finally, many learners face the problem of fear and nervousness. They are afraid of making mistakes. They worry that people will laugh at them. This fear slows down the brain and makes speaking even harder. So, to summarize, overthinking grammar, translating in the mind, speaking too fast, lack of vocabulary, and fear of mistakes. These are the biggest roadblocks. The good news is that all of these problems can be solved with the right practice, and we are going to talk about those solutions next. All right? Now let's talk about how you can train your brain to think faster in English. This is one of the biggest keys to fluency. The good news is, it's a skill you can develop with practice. Let me share some simple steps you can use. Step 1. Stop translating in your head. This is the #1 rule. If you always think in your native language first, your brain will always be slow. Instead, try to connect words and ideas directly in English. For example, if you see an apple, don't think of the word in your language first. Just say in your mind, apple. This way, your brain learns to use English directly. Step 2. Practice with simple sentences every day. You don't need to use big, complicated grammar. Start with easy sentences like, I am drinking water. The sky is blue. I like music. The more you practice simple sentences, the faster your brain will get at forming them. Over time, you can move to longer sentences. Step 3. Use quick thinking activities. Make it fun. For example, look around the room and describe 3 things quickly. The chair is brown. The window is open. The light is bright. Give yourself 30 seconds to explain what you did yesterday. Don't worry about grammar. Just speak. Or ask yourself small questions like, what do I see? What do I feel? What do I want? And answer quickly in English. These short activities train your brain to respond fast without overthinking. Step 4. Learn common phrases and chunks of English. Fluent speakers don't always create new sentences word by word. They use ready-made phrases like, "How's it going?" or "That sounds great," or "Let me think about it." When you learn and practice these chunks, your brain doesn't need to work so hard. You can speak faster because the words are already prepared in your memory. Step 5. Practice active listening. Thinking fast is not only about speaking, it's also about listening. When you listen carefully to English, podcasts, movies, or conversations, your brain learns patterns. You start to predict what people will say, and this helps you respond faster. So don't just listen passively. Try to repeat, shadow, or answer questions while listening. Step 6. Don't worry about mistakes. Sometimes learners pause because they are afraid of being wrong. But remember this: speed comes from confidence, not from perfection. If you wait for the perfect sentence, you will always be slow. If you allow yourself to make mistakes, you will train your brain to speak more freely. So, to summarize, stop translating. Practice simple sentences, use quick thinking activities, learn common phrases, listen actively, and forget the fear of mistakes. These are the main steps that will help your brain think faster in English. All right, now we've learned how to think faster. But thinking faster is not enough. You must also speak in a way that people can understand you. So let's talk about how you can train yourself to speak clearer. Step 1. Slow down a little. Many learners believe speaking fast makes them fluent. But the truth is, if you go too fast, your words will mix together and become hard to understand. It's okay to slow down. A clear, slow sentence is always better than a fast, messy one. Step 2. Break sentences into small parts. Don't try to say a very long sentence without stopping. For example, instead of rushing through, "Yesterday, I went to the store and bought some apples and then saw my friend." You can break it into parts. "Yesterday, I went to the store. I bought some apples. Then, I saw my friend." Small parts make your speaking clear, natural, and easy to follow. Step 3. Practice pronunciation of common words. Sometimes the problem is not speed, but pronunciation. If you say a word incorrectly, people may not understand you. So, choose 10 common words each week. Listen to the correct pronunciation and practice them slowly. For example, comfortable, interesting, world, thought. Repeat them until your mouth feels natural. Step 4. Use pauses. A short pause is very powerful. It gives you time to think, and it gives listeners time to understand. For example, say, "I love reading books, especially at night, before I go to bed." The pauses make the sentence clear and pleasant to hear. Step 5. Record yourself and listen back. This is one of the best ways to improve clarity. When you hear your own voice, you notice which words are not clear. You can then practice those words again. Don't worry if your voice sounds strange. It sounds different to everyone. But recording is a very useful tool. Step 6. Speak with confidence, even with mistakes. Clarity also comes from your attitude. If you speak softly and hide your voice, people will not understand. But if you speak loudly and confidently, your words will be stronger and clearer. Even if there are small mistakes, people will still understand you better. So, to summarize, slow down. Break sentences into small parts. Practice pronunciation. Use pauses. Record your voice. And speak with confidence. These habits will help you train your mouth and voice to speak clearer in English every day. Now you might be thinking, Jason, this sounds good, but how can I practice every day? Don't worry, I'll give you a simple routine. You can do it in just 15 to 20 minutes each day. Here's a plan you can try. Morning, 5 minutes of self-talk. When you wake up, talk to yourself in English. For example, I am brushing my teeth. I am making tea. I am getting ready for work. Simple sentences, said out loud. This trains your brain to think in English from the start of the day. Afternoon, 5 minutes of listening and repeating. Choose a short podcast, video, or even a sentence from a movie. Listen carefully, then repeat the words. Copy the speed, the sound, and the pauses. This helps you practice both faster thinking and clearer speaking. Evening 5 to 10 minutes of quick speaking practice. Set a timer for 1 minute. Pick a topic, like my favorite food or what I did yesterday. Speak non-stop for 1 minute. Don't worry about mistakes. Just speak. Then, listen back if you record yourself. That's it. Morning, afternoon, evening. Small daily steps. If you follow this routine, you will train your brain to think faster, and you will also train your mouth to speak clearer. Before we finish, I want to share something very important. Your mindset. Learning to think faster and speak clearer takes time. It will not happen in one day, but if you stay motivated and practice a little every day, you will see big results. Here are 3 simple tips. Tip 1. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, even native speakers. Mistakes are not the end. They are the beginning of learning. Tip 2. Focus on progress, not perfection. Maybe yesterday you needed 10 seconds to answer a question. Today you need only 7. That is progress. Celebrate small improvements. Tip 3. Stay consistent. Even 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a week. Daily practice builds a strong habit, and habits lead to fluency. So, believe in yourself. Clear and confident, English is possible. You just need to practice, stay patient, and keep a positive mindset. All right, now let's do a quick practice together. This will help you think faster and speak clearer at the same time. Don't just listen. Join me and say the words out loud. Step 1. Quick thinking practice. I will ask you 3 simple questions. Don't stop to think too long. Just answer with the first idea that comes to your mind. Ready? Question 1. What did you eat for breakfast? Say your answer now. Good. Question 2. What is your favorite color? Answer quickly. Excellent. Question 3. What do you usually do on Sunday? Great job. See? Fast, simple answers. That's how you train your brain to think quickly in English. Step 2. Clear speaking practice. Now, repeat a sentence after me. I'll say it slowly and clearly. Then you repeat. Ready? I'll say, I want to speak English clearly and with confidence. Now you say it. Great. Let's do it one more time together. I want to speak English clearly and with confidence. Excellent. Remember, the more you practice, the better you get. All right, friends. We have learned a lot today. Let's quickly review the most important points. First, thinking faster in English is key. Stop translating. Practice simple sentences. Use quick thinking exercises. Learn common phrases. And listen actively. This will train your brain to respond quickly in conversations. Second, speaking clearly is just as important. Slow down a little. Break sentences into small parts. Practice pronunciation. Use pauses. Record yourself. And speak with confidence. Clear speaking makes people understand you better and builds your confidence. Third, daily practice is the secret. Just a few minutes every day, self-talk in the morning, listening and repeating in the afternoon, and quick speaking practice in the evening will give you amazing results over time. Finally, remember your mindset matters. Don't fear mistakes. Focus on progress, not perfection. Stay consistent and believe in yourself. Small daily steps lead to big improvements. If you follow these tips, you will see that thinking faster and speaking clearer is not only possible, it can become natural for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this episode and learned some useful tips on how to think faster and speak clearer in English. Remember, the key is practice, patience, and confidence. Speak a little every day. Think in English and focus on being clear rather than perfect. If you liked this episode, don't forget to practice these exercises daily and share this podcast with your friends who want to improve their English too. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, keep speaking, keep practicing, and stay confident. Goodbye, and have a great day.